Feel the music. I'll tell you. This is the first day of September. I have 4 things to look forward to in September, but I can't even find it. It's on the wrong page. The grid is off.
It's the most important thing of the month, and you don't have it?
The grid is off. I know. It's the very first moment.
This is day one.
Day one, the very first moment of September. And I just told Kristen, where are my things to look forward to in September? And he didn't know. And I'm off on my pages. I'm totally discombobulated.
Can you wing it? Can you do it from memory, Kelly?
I'm sitting here looking at August. I'm sitting here looking. I'm looking at the
longest day of the year. Oh no!
I mean, really, I'm completely out of sorts here today. Mm-hmm. I am. I didn't pickle well last night. I'm off.
You know, it's become one of those things where when you don't play, you're moody. And when you play awful, you're moodier.
I'm moody. I was I was in
What does that tell you?
Well, I'll tell you this too, and I want to address something. I have to apologize to Biggie. Yesterday, we had an awkward segment, and it was all over pumpkin spice latte, and I thought about it all day, and I was wrong, and I'm going to admit I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong.
I'll give you that.
All right. So yesterday we talked about pumpkin spice latte. It came up. It's a big topic. Has 30 grams of sugar in it. I said, don't have it. Biggie said, I'll have it if I want. I said, you shouldn't. He said, you're just saying that because you don't like them. I said, no, I'm not. But really, that's the truth. That's the truth. Okay. Phone lines absolutely exploded. Biggie put no calls through. I could overhear what they were saying, and they were saying, he's such an asshole. You have what you want. What
How do you work with such a dick?
So I want to clear the air. I want to apologize. I should have apologized yesterday. Totally awkward.
I wasn't sure when we do this. I figured we'd update this at some point. One, I've sent you all a little montage I made yesterday involving the pumpkin spice latte. If you'll check your phones.
Oh, montage?
Yeah. I sent a montage, a photo montage. Is it okay, and also, I just want to say the
creative.
Oh, you had.
I don't know if we can be an extra digit in one of them.
I don't know if we want to post that. Maybe we can blur that. Maybe our friend Megan can blur.
I don't think. I want it put up. I want it put up because I deserve that.
Yeah, but it looks like you're doing it to Starbucks.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm giving the finger to Chris Kelly. I mean, put that on social media and put that because I deserve that. I deserve that. Well, and let me tell you something else. I'll tell you what I almost did. Okay.
Well, I have an amazing update too with pumpkin spice latte and the power of radio, though.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Your railing against it yesterday meant that I had to go to 3 different Starbucks to get one.
That's right.
Because they sold out.
Okay, yeah.
I could not get one.
I had to go. An angry DJ took a dump all over one.
I want that note.
And then I got people sending me pictures, including our very own Megan, of them drinking pumpkin spice lattes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. And I did that.
You did. Power rated. They seemed flustered at the second one. I was like, can I get a pumpkin spice night? We're out.
We're overrun. We're overrun.
I don't know what happened this morning on the radio.
Yes, of course. I thought about it all day. Yes, it was awkward. It was awkward because I told Biggie, don't have it. Don't have it. Because it's full of sugar and you don't need sugar and sugar's terrible for you. And Biggie said, I'm a grown man. I'll eat what I want and drink what I want. Of course, you're right. But I just dug in. And then it got to be like, I'm trying to help you. And you said, don't. And that was fine. And I was wrong. There's no question I was wrong. And every caller said, you work for the biggest butthole that there is. And I heard that. They didn't even make it on our air, but I heard it just lightly. He's a butthole. I could hear it. I was like, okay.
I can sense butthole in the air.
And then I thought to myself, do you know what I'm going to do as an apology? I'm going to get Biggie a gift card to Starbucks so that he can go and get a pumpkin spice latte if he wants to. Now, I didn't do it, but I thought about it.
That's what matters.
That's right. It's the thought. It's the thought. And I'm glad that is the power of radio. I railed against it.
Unbelievable.
And it's
because it brings other people joy, but not you.
That's right. I don't like it.
The parking lots and drive-through lines were packed.
It didn't exist when you were a tween, therefore it sucks.
Awful. It's terrible. I hate everything about it. I hate when people like something, when it's like all the rage and I don't, it makes me so angry.
Yes.
I hate it. I hate it.
You want to be at the cool table, but you're not.
But I'm not. I don't like. I see that, like Marvel movies and pumpkin spice latte. Serena Williams.
Teslas.
Yeah. I mean, all these things I don't like or I don't care about, and I'm just like, you all are totally into it. It doesn't. I hate it. I hate it when people get into stuff that I'm either not into, don't care about, or dislike, and that's what it is. Pumpkin spice latte. But of course, it resonated in my brain all day. I want this on social media. I want you to put that up there and say, I'm giving the finger to Chris Kelly because of this pumpkin spice latte.
Like I said, I was just shocked at the power of radio yesterday and the magic that happened.
And I see you had it, which makes me unbelievably angry that you had this disgusting.
Oh, I made sure to document every part of it.
Disgusting drink. Was it awful?
No, I had it, and it was good, and now I've had it.
And now you're not going to have another one.
I mean, I'll have another one before the season's up, but it's kind of like that first. You want to get that one in. And I was like, okay.
First one.
Now I've had it.
First one. You've got it.
And then I had a chicken salad for dinner.
I'll tell you this. I just found my things to look forward to in September. The first one.
Well, you know what it is.
Pumpkin spice
latte. Yeah.
God. Oh, man. I hate it. I hate
Sweater weather.
First one on the list. Pumpkin spice latte. No. Pumpkin spice latte.
Did it make you want to dig in again?
I can't do that, though.
Does anyone else in your family enjoy the beverage, Kelly?
Well, my kids, my son and daughter. My wife doesn't. She's just a coffee person. And she doesn't even like Starbucks coffee. She's one of those that finds it really overrated. She likes Dunkin' Donuts a lot better. I don't even like coffee. That's another thing I see.
You don't like coffee?
Every day. Dave comes in here. Hey, everybody. And then Biggie's like, hey, we got any coffee? Yeah, I made some good coffee. I brought my carafe in. Disgusting. Disgusting. I hate the whole coffee culture. The fact that Starbucks is on every can't stand it. I never even walk into it. I don't ever walk in.
I'll tell you this. One thing I learned about our town is the Starbucks are all clumped together.
That's every place.
When one was out, I could drive 2 minutes to another one.
That's the whole joke.
Yeah.
It's like I was at a Starbucks and looked across the street and there's another Starbucks.
But you forget that the things they're in, too.
Inside.
Because I was like, where's the closest Starbucks? It was like, the Target right here.
Target.
The grocery store. They're everywhere.
I don't like Starbucks. I actively avoid them. All their drinks. You know what I don't like about Starbucks? Just call it small, medium, and large.
Now that is confusing.
Venti. Well, I don't know. Grande. I don't even know what the biggest one is. And sometimes my wife, because she's a teacher, for teacher appreciation, they'll give gift cards to Starbucks. And so my kids have me go by and order stuff for them. And I always say to them, this is disgusting. How dare you? How dare you?
Sugar-filled.
I hate it. And to see your face drinking this drink.
Sipping and fingering.
Oh, fingering.
Well, I couldn't let you in.
Oh, I lost. I knew I lost yesterday.
If I had to get it yesterday. I was like, if I don't get one tomorrow
I knew.
or today.
I knew you would. I was so hurt and crestfallen when I walked in. I was like, he's going to go out and get that against all my better judgment. And this, I'll tell you what I really dislike is this. That right there. Your face.
Taking a tiny amount of pleasure.
Look at that. Looking up with those eyes that just twinkle and sparkle, drinking that disgusting.
As it dances across his lips for the first time in a year.
It's not.
Pumpkin cold brew.
That's another thing I don't like. Cold brew. Drink your coffee hot.
See,
is that cold?
I've switched now. I'm a cold coffee drinker.
Oh, God. That's another thing. I see that because people like, another way, White Claw and those things that are now popular, things that become popular that I dislike.
Yeah.
I hate it when I see other people getting into it. This right here, those eyes, haunting. Haunting. I hate that.
I made sure to montage it.
And then to see the first thing on my list of things to look forward to in September, pumpkin spice latte and sweater weather and NFL football. Finally, football. I'm into football. That's coming up in September. I'll tell you this, too. A bunch of TV shows. I don't watch any of them. I don't watch any of these. I'm just looking at it now. I don't watch any of these.
A new season or just new shows, period?
New seasons. I guess September is the time.
I bet I noticed some shows myself that it was like, it's the fourth season of, and I'm like, fourth?
Of what? I know.
I've never heard of them.
Let me see these ones. Oh, here's some ones I see that because I don't watch them or like them, but everybody else talks about them. Rick and Morty. What's that?
It's giant. With the
I know it is.
Yeah.
I know it is. So I look at it with disdain anytime. And then that's a huge flaw of mine. Like Parks and Recreation. People would tell me when it was on. Watch Parks and Recreation. No, I'm not watching Parks and Recreation. I'm sure it's stupid. I don't like Amy Poehler. Then after it was over, I watched it and loved it. You're like, oh my God.
You tell everybody to watch.
I do. It's possible I could have a pumpkin spice latte and enjoy it. It's possible. I've never really had one.
Me either.
I mean, I don't
like coffee, so
I don't either.
I'm not drawn to it.
And I don't like coffee, and I don't like a pumpkin spice muffin. I don't like. I would choose.
I do like that.
Well, maybe you'd like it then. But does it have how much coffee flavors in it, Biggie?
I mean, it tastes a little bit like coffee, but you get a lot more pumpkin.
Yeah, I don't like the pumpkin flavors,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't like it. I don't think, but who knows? I mean, it's possible.
To me, if you're somebody who enjoys that pumpkin-y flavor, you'd probably like this, because to me, it's more pumpkin than coffee.
Okay, that's what I figured. Well, because of the sweetness in it,
Yeah.
the sugar in it, which is what I went against yesterday. But now that's something I do love is sugar. So yeah, okay. And then he goes out and has it, and of course that makes me doubly angry, and especially that face. What else is coming up in September you can look forward to? Handmaid's Tale is coming back.
Hey,
That's something I
am
like.
looking forward to that.
I like that. I like that show. Family Guy and The Simpsons. What season for The Simpsons now? 33? I mean, didn't it start in 89?
Yeah. I mean,
34?
and Family Guy has to be like 15 or 16, right?
Those animated shows just
Maybe
go on.
20.
Where did I read? Did you know there was a big...
Your Yellowstone's coming back too, right?
not in September. That's November when that's coming back. I read it. There's a big fight between Family Guy and South Park. Something, I guess they made an episode of South Park that was all about how bad Family Guy is. Did you see it? You watch South Park.
I do watch South Park. I mean, they've referenced it from time to time, but I don't remember a whole episode about it.
I was reading this list of, this was in Mental Floss, of comedians or comedy shows that have beef with each other. And that was one of them. South Park did an entire episode on how the jokes on Family Guy are just randomly strung together pop culture references and it's easy writing, they said. But, basically that was the whole message. But then Seth MacFarlane, he has talked badly about South Park. So those two, they don't get along, even though both are extremely popular.
Oh, yeah.
So they've had, it's just like that kind of fight. The others were like Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien, because Jay took Conan's job back on The Tonight Show after Conan took over. At one point, I never heard this quote. Conan O'Brien said on television, "I want to say this to the children that are watching. You can do anything you want in life, unless Jay Leno wants to do it too."
I remember that joke. I think it might be Conan's finest moment.
The stingingest, truest comedy ever.
I remember that, and I agree.
You can do anything you want. Unless, I sided with Leno on that. I was the only one that sided with Jay Leno. Because NBC basically said, okay, you have to retire so that we can keep Conan. They told him like 4 years earlier. Then they moved Jay to 10 o'clock, which he took, and they offered him a job. Then Conan's ratings just cratered, so they offered the job back to Jay. And he could have, I guess, been above the fray and said, no, I'm not taking that job back. But he wanted it. He loved the job. I mean, he never wanted to be out in the first place. He just was a company man, did what they told him, basically. And then when it didn't work with Conan, he's like, all right, I'll take it back over. I always thought that's something I would do. I felt like I would be the Jay Leno in that. There's no question I would have been the Jay Leno in that little fight over who got the Tonight Show. Then there's David Cross, who is a comedian, versus Larry the Cable Guy. Cross blasted Larry the Cable Guy for delivering what he called the lowest form of comedy, period. Larry countered that David takes himself too seriously and overanalyzes comedy. And then David Cross wrote a 10-page essay called An Open Letter to Larry the Cable Guy, where he blasted everything he had ever done. Just because they don't have the same type of comedy,
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy. I've heard some other comedians say that he's from Nebraska, but yet he does a fake accent.
That's everyone's beef with him. The other comedians is that he's doing a shtick.
But isn't that what comedy's been for a long time?
I never had a problem with it. The guy figured out a way to make people laugh and make a ton of money.
Yeah, so
but your comedians who are your purists are like, this is not a comedian. I think it's calling him a comedian. They're like, he's an act.
He's not a real. It's shtick.
Yes,
it's not
exactly.
stand-up comedy. We talked about this when it happened. Will Ferrell, of course, a great comedy actor, and Adam McKay. Ferrell and McKay were writers. McKay is a writer and a director, and together they did Step Brothers, Elf, Talladega Nights, Anchorman, and they created the website Funny or Die. But they had a big falling out when McKay did the series Showtime, which is about the Los Angeles Lakers, and gave the part of Lakers owner Jerry Buss to John C. Reilly, who was a friend of Will Ferrell, and not to Ferrell. And Ferrell wanted the role, and they haven't spoken since.
No, and they were best of friends.
They were best friends, and they have not spoken since, exactly. So those two don't get along anymore. And they haven't buried the hatchet over it either. I know Bill Murray and who's the guy who was in Ghostbusters that you like, who passed away?
Oh, Harold Ramis.
They didn't get along because of Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
But Murray said they buried the hatchet before Harold Ramis died. And then Andy Dick and John Lovitz. Lovitz blames Andy Dick for Phil Hartman's death. And so Lovitz hates Andy Dick.
I thought he was murdered.
He was murdered.
Yeah.
By his wife.
That's a little... Does he give reasons?
Yes. The wife, Bryn Hartman, was clean and sober after having tons of alcohol and drug problems. Andy Dick got her back onto cocaine and alcohol. He one night,
According to Lovitz.
I think that's pretty well documented. That Andy Dick like reintroduced it to her at a party. I mean, she's of her own free will, of course.
Yeah.
But Andy Dick sort of opened the door and got her. According to Lovitz and others, she got rehooked on drugs after she had cleaned herself up because of Andy Dick. And one night at a comedy club, they ran into each other, and Lovitz slammed Andy's head into the bar 5 times, according to witnesses, because he said, "You killed Phil Hartman." He really didn't kill Phil Hartman. Yeah. The wife killed Phil Hartman, which is a terrible... I mean, that was an awful loss. What a loss.
Is that why Andy Dick's never been the same?
Andy Dick, man,
that, I mean,
he's all over the place.
Yeah.
That guy is...
He's always getting arrested still.
Constantly. And Eddie Murphy had a falling out with Bill Cosby because Eddie Murphy in the 80s would do those, and early 90s would do those great stand-up routines, but he used a lot of bad language. And Bill Cosby didn't appreciate that. So Cosby called Eddie Murphy and said, "I want to talk to you about your language that you're choosing on stage. You're justifying this language. You can do it. You can be better without using the language." Ironically, of course.
Pot kettle.
Big time.
Yeah.
Not on language.
No, but
not on stage.
No,
on
Cosby's
stage.
doing a lot worse things behind closed doors.
So it seems.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's been to prison. He's been to jail for that. So yeah, I would say Eddie Murphy has won that exchange. Just as Biggie beat me yesterday, Eddie Murphy has beaten Bill Cosby. But I'm playing the long game.
Smart.
When you have heart disease.
It's inevitable.
I'll say I've
Who will
won.
bash his head against the bar?
I will bash your head against the pour. I'll bash. I don't know who's gotten you hooked on pumpkin spice.
Go find some Starbucks barista. Some poor Starbucks barista get beat up in the parking lot.
That's exactly right.